of the service which is provided by Microsoft. Okay. So now, when I talk about the Microsoft Windows Azure, right? So it's nothing but cloud operating system built on top of your Microsoft data centers infrastructure, and it is going to provide you basically the different collection of services. Okay, so a number of services it is going to provide, and it is going to provide the developers with the uh, a number of servers for building applications with cloud technology. So it is going to this particular cloud Microsoft Azure is going to be um, built on top of your Microsoft data center. Okay. So what it is going to provide? So it is going to provide the collection of services. What type of services it is going to provide? So it is going to provide you the services ranging from compute, storage, and networking. Okay. So for what purpose it is going to give the compute, storage, and networking? For the purpose of application connectivity. So for the purpose of application connectivity, for the purpose of access control, and for the purpose of business intelligence. So it is going to provide you the different services. So if you talk about the compute, storage, and networking, so that will be as part of your infrastructure as a service. So if you talk about the application connectivity, is going to have networking to application connectivity which you are going to have. So what is required there? So you have to require the platform also. So it's also provide you those type of services also. So if we talk about the any build, any application, so if you take any applications, so that will be built on Microsoft technology. So since Microsoft Azure is a product from your Microsoft, so if you take any application which is built by Microsoft technology, so it can be scaled using the Azure platform. Okay, so when you are scaling it, so what is how it you are going to scale it? So you're going to scale it by integrating the scalability features. Okay, so now normally what will happen? So normally, so you're going to have the integration capability, and it's going to be making use of Microsoft Server 2008 and SQL Server and ASP.NET. Okay, so these are some of the features what your Microsoft Azure is going to provide. Now, when it comes to the Microsoft Azure, so the following figure will show you the overview of services which are going to provided by Azure. So this is a typical figure which is going to be uh, given. So when you are going to have the Microsoft Azure, which is provided by your Microsoft technology. So now these services, what are the different services which is shown in the figure? So they are managed and controlled through what? So they are going to be managed and controlled through Windows Azure Management Portal. So you're going to have the portal. So you are going to have that particular portal. With the help of that particular portal, you are going to manage it. So that particular portal which you are going to use is Windows Azure Platform Portal. Okay, so management portal, Windows Azure management portal you are going to have. So by using that particular platform console, so you are going to offer the services which is given by your Microsoft. Okay, so now this is a core features. So this particular figure which you are going to have here, so this figure is going to provide you the core features of the major services. Okay, so this will provide you the core feature which you are going to have. Core features it is going to provide here. Okay, so now, so basically what it is going to be made up of the fabric layer. So app fabric will be there. So this will be, it is made up of the foundation layer as we have discussed in your Aneka zeros. So here also it is going to have the foundation layer, fabric layer like that. So here the Windows Azure platform which you are going to have, so that is made up of the foundation layer. Okay. So now with the help of the foundation layer, who can use that particular layer, so that will be used by the developer. So the developer can access the different services. Okay, so the developer can have the set of developer services, so that will be used by your developer to build scalable applications. So by using this particular, by using the foundation layer, so the developer can develop the services. So for what type of services it is going to, he is going to build? So he is going to build a scalable and elastic applications. Now, what this particular applications services consist of is the next question. So if you're going to have that particular services, so you can see it here. So it's going to provide you the compute service. So it's going to provide you the compute service. So it's going to provide you the storage service. It's going to provide you the networking service, and it's going to provide you the identity access management, which is security you are going to provide. And so this identity access management is going to be tied with the middleware, which is referred as a app fabric. So it is nothing but your middleware. So it is going to be middleware. So that is your identity access management is going to be uh, tied with the app fabric. Okay, so that is going to be acting as a middleware. So this will be acting as a middleware. So next, we are going to have the marketplaces. So for where you are going to build your application on top of that one. Okay, so now this scalable computing environment which you are going to have. Okay, so where it is going to be hosted. So all these services which has been there. Okay, so all these service will be hosted where? So this service will be hosted in your Microsoft data center. Okay, these services will be hosted in your Microsoft data centers. Okay, so here it will be hosted. Okay, so now once you have them, so this once it has been hosted in your Microsoft data centers, and using what you can access it, you can access it through the Windows Azure Management Portal. So now, if you have this particular type of scenario, so how the developer has to do that one? So how the developer has to access all these services which you are going to have. Now, when it comes to the developers, so the developers can recreate a Windows Azure environment. Okay, so in their own machine. So if I'm going to use, if I'm tech, I am the developer, so I can develop my own virtual machine. Okay, so I can have my own develop a recreate a Windows Azure environment, so which is having the limited set of facilities in my own system for developing and testing purpose. So this is the overview of your overview of your Azure, Microsoft Azure platform with which will be given for you by your middleware services also. Okay. So now if you take the different services which is going to be provided in your Microsoft Azure, first is your compute. Okay, the first is your compute service. So this is Azure core concepts is going to provide you. So you're going to have the SQL Azure concept is going to cover Azure Azure Platform Alliance is going to provide it. So it is going to provide you the different observation platform also. It is going to. So when you start discussing about your Azure core concept here, so Azure core concept, if you take, so this particular Azure core concept is going to be built or made up of using the foundation layer. So it's going to be made up of the foundation layer, and it's going to have some set of developer services. Okay, so it is going to build on the foundation layer. So with the help of some set of developer services, which will be used to build scalable application. So it will be used to build scalable applications. Okay. So this particular foundation layer which you are going to have, what it is going to cover, as I told you in the figure, so it is going to cover you compute, storage, networking, and identity management, which are all tied together by a middleware called App Fabric. So it will be all tied together by a middleware called as App Fabric. So next comes, what do you mean? What are the different services it is going to provide under compute category, and what are the different services? What are the services it is going to provide under storage, and what are the services it is going to provide under networking, and what are the services it is going to provide under identity management? So now when it comes to the core compute services, okay. So if you take the compute services, so these compute services are the core components. So if you talk about the computer services, these computer services is the core components of your Microsoft Windows Azure. So now they are going to be delivered by means of an abstraction layer. Okay, so this abstraction layer you're going to have. So with the help of those abstraction layer, or these core components are delivered through abstraction layer, delivered through abstraction layer. So this abstraction layer which you are going to have. So this abstraction layer. So the abstraction layer which you are going to have is called as role. The abstraction layer which you are going to have is called as role. So next comes the question: what do you mean by role? So why is it is used? Is the next question. So now basically the role is nothing but what? A role is a runtime environment. Okay, so a role is nothing but the runtime environment. So runtime environment that is customized for a specific compute task. So it is a runtime environment which is built to customize, so to customize a specific computers. So basically these particular roles which are there, which are used for runtime environment to be customized, so that will be managed by your Azure operating system. So that will be managed by Azure operating system, and it will be initiated by the set of address suggest in your application demand. So they are going to have the applications inside your applications. You are going to have some set of IP addresses through which it is going to control it. Okay. So now when it comes to the roles, so we are going to have three different roles which you are going to have. What are they? One is your web role, second is your worker role, third is the virtual machine role. So if you talk about your um, talk about your roles, which is a runtime environment, which is customized to provide you the services. So to have the compute task, so it will be having three different. It is going to be provided with three different roles. One is web role, worker role, and virtual machine role. So next, what is mean by web role? So if you take the web, as the name indicates, web. Okay, so as the name indicates, it's a web. So it is designed to implement scalable web applications. Okay, so if you talk about the web role, so web role is nothing but what? So this is basically used to web role if you take. So this is designed to implement scalable web application. So designed to implement scalable web applications, it is going to be used. So now scalable web applications. So for that one, it is going to be used. Okay. So next comes, what do you mean by worker role? Okay. So if you talk about the web role in detail about, so it represents the units of deployment of web applications within the Azure infrastructure. So basically, they are going to be hosted on the server. So inside your Microsoft data centers. So that particular type of servers is referred as IIS 7. Okay, IIS 7 web server which you are going to have. So with the help of that particular server, it is going to be hosted. So now, so even if you are going to have the maximum load, okay, so whenever Azure detects a peak loads in the request made by the given applications, if you are going to have the peak load there, so what it is going to initiate? So if I am going to have the load, so I will create a replica of mine and I am going to give that particular task to those people also. It is like that. Okay, so when it detects the peak loads or it is going to have the overloaded, so then it instantiates the multiple web roles for that application and distribute all along those particular roles, and it will balance the load. Okay, that is how it is going to happen. So next comes the worker role here. Okay, so it is going to worker role. So what is the purpose of the worker role? So now your worker role is designed to host general compute services. Okay, so here it is used to give worker designed to host, so host general compute services. Okay, so virtual role is general compute services. It is going to be used on Azure. So what are the different compute services which are going to use? So that particular type of services, it is going to be hosted on your worker role. Okay, so now when you are going to have this particular access, that is the compute services, so basically they are used to quickly provide the compute power or to the host services that do not communicate with the external world through HTTP. So there is going to this particular worker role is going to provide you the compute power to whom, compute power to the whom, the applications which you have been deployed using your web role. So if it is not able to deploy it, so if it has to communicate with the outside world, so even if power is not there, so if it is not there, then your worker role will provide you the compute power to host that particular services. What type of services? That is your web services which you are going to have, and it is going to provide you the background processing of your web applications. So even it is going to provide you the background processing of your web applications. Background processing of your web applications, it is going to provide. Okay, so developing a worker role. So if you talk about the worker role here, so developing this particular worker role, so is nothing but what? So it is like giving one service. It is similar to giving one service or developing a service. What you can give. So it is like a giving one service. If you want to give that particular service, obviously we have to create that particular service or you have to develop that particular service. So now, if we talk about the compared with the web role, so if we compare the worker role with the web role, so web role, how it is going to work? So this particular web role's computation is going to be triggered by the interaction with the HTTP because it is going to make use of the web applications. So if you want to make use of the web applications, so how we are going to instantiate that one? We are going to instantiate using the HTTP. So that is your browser. So that is going to be made use of the browser. So now, if we talk the worker role, so this particular worker role, what it is going to do is, it is going to run continuously from the creation of an instance until it is shut down. So it is nothing but, since it is giving the compute as a service, so we have to create the instance. Okay, so once the instance is created, till where to where it is going to run is the next question. So till it is going to run from the time of the creation. So it is going to run from the creation to termination. Okay, or shutting down of that particular instance. So between this time, so it will be running. So the worker role will be running from the time the instance has been created till its termination. Till its termination, it is going to be running. So next comes the virtual machine role. So if we talk about the virtual machine role, so it allows developers to fully control the computing stack of their compute services. So here in the virtual machine role, it is going to provide the developers to fully control the computing stack. So it is going to provide the developer the service. So provide the developer the service. Okay. So what type of service it is going to provide? So it is going to allow developer to fully control the computing stack. So allow developer to fully control developing stack here. So that's what it's going to provide here. Okay, so that is what virtual machine role is going to be all about. So here also you are going to have some of the components which you are going to have. So even the virtual hard disk has to be created, and inside your virtual hard disk it is going to be stored some data. So you're going to have the instances which you are going to have in your Azure is similar to your instances which we have seen in your Amazon, like our large instances, high CPU instances, micro instances, which you have discussed, right? When you are discussing your Amazon. Similarly, we are going to have some of the instances in here also. So the instances which is going to have in your Windows Azure compute instance characteristics are. So the type of the instances here which you are going to have here is extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large, depending upon the size. So that is, so extra small, you're going to have the instance. So small, you are going to have the instance. Medium is there, medium, large, and extra large. So these are some of the instances which you are going to have here. So depending upon this one, the speed of the particular instance will be there. That is, will be having 1 gigahertz. So this will be having 1.6. Your medium is having 2 cores into 1.6 gigahertz. 2 into 1.6. That is but it's going to have 2 cores. With each core is having 1.6 gigahertz. If we take large, it will be having 4 cores with 1.6 GB. So extra large is going to have 8 core with 1.6 GB. So if you take this particular type of instances, the primary memory or which is going to have here is, so for this one it will be 768 MB, it will be 1.25 GB. So then it will be 3.5 GB. Okay, so then it will be 7 GB. So here it will be 14 GB. Okay, so similarly you are going to have that performance initiation also there. So depending upon the type of the instance which you are going to select. Okay, so normally if you take the extra small, it will be having the low performance. So it will be having a low performance. It's going to have the small is going to have the moderate performance. So if you take these things, it's going to have the high performance. Okay, so these are some of the instances which you're going to have, which will provide that one. So this is about your compute services, which it is going to be provided. So the next which we are going to discuss here are storage services. So if we talk about the storage services, so the storage services is basically it is going to provide you that it is going to the storage services which is be used for local storage. Okay, so it is going to be equipped with a local storage. Okay, so compute resources which you are going to have, that if you want to access that one, so it is going to be equipped with local storage. So whatever the local storage you are going to have, so that will be, it will be in the form of local directories here. So it will be in the form of local directories. Local, it will be in the form of local directories. Okay, so and the file system which you are going to build here is local file system which you are going to have, and so that can be used for temporarily store information. This local file system which you are going to have, so that is going to store the files temporarily. Okay, that is going to store the temporarily, which will be helpful current execution cycle of a role. So that is current execution cycle of a role is going to be used. So now if for example, if the role or the computer services which you are going to have, so that particular role is if it is restarted. So if my role is there, if it is restarted, what I need to do, how I have to access that particular services, or how I can access that particular store. So now if the role is restarting, what will happen? Any of replication will be there. So if again the same role is restarted in a different machine, if the same role is restarted in different machine, so whatever the storage is going to have in the another role, it will be gone. So that information will be lost. So if it is restored in different machine, the information will be lost in the other system. The information is going to be lost in the other system. So that's how it's going to happen. So now, if you talk about your storage services, the Windows Azure platform is going to provide the different type of storage services which you are going to have. So it is going to complement the compute services, which will make you the redundant options compared to local storage. Okay. So compared to a local storage, what will happen here? The services which can be accessed, these services, it will be accessed by multiple clients. Okay. So at the same time, these multiple clients which you are going to access that particular service, they have to access through all over the world. That is, wherever they are, or everywhere, wherever they have to access that particular service. So now that particular type of storage become what? It becomes the general solution for the storage. So if you talk about the storage, the services, so your Microsoft Azure is going to provide you the different types of storage services, which is one is Blob, second is Azure Drive, third is tables, fourth is queues. Okay. So next one it talks about the blobs here. So what do you mean by blob? Uh, so now, so your blob is nothing but what? It is mainly used to store large volume of data or large amount of data. So your blobs is used to store large amount of data. So it is used to store large amount of data here. So in the form of what? So whatever the data it is going to store, it will be stored in the form of binary object files. So that particular storage, and if you want to access that one, it has to be accessed through by using the blob service. So that will be accessed by the blob service. So here the service which you are going to have, that will be optimal. Okay. So if we talk about the blob, so optimal performance is going to have. So there are two types of blobs which you are going to have. One is your block blobs, other is your page blobs. So this is similar to your operating system concept. So when you are going to have save the file, so we are going to save the file. So this is a block file block method or your page wise. So that same concept which you are going to use in your operating system concept. So now here in the block blobs of what happens. So if you take the blobs, so there are two. One is your block, other is your page. Okay, so when you talk about the blob, so here, so it is composed of blocks. So you're going to have a number of blocks. So it will be having some storage, and it will be optimized for sequential access. So now these type of blocks, they are mainly used for media streaming. So composed of blocks, so used in media streaming. So this is used in media streaming. Okay. So and then it can fix the size of the block. So the block size can be fixed to 4 MB here. Okay, so even in your system also you can have this particular blocks, right? So all of you have seen, I think. So when you format a particular drive, formatted drive, so there you are going to have the option called block size. So what is the size of your block? So you can fix it. So it will be in 2 KB, 4 KB like that. So here also it is going to have. So but whatever the block size you are going to have in this particular Amazon Microsoft Azure, so that will be in terms of 4 MB. So and a single block which you are going to have, so that can reach up to 200 GB. Okay, 200 GB it can be have. So single block which can be scaled. Okay. So next is page blocks. So page blocks are nothing but they are made up of pages, and they are beginning of the block. So they are identified and they are made up of this particular block is made up of pages, and they are identified by the offset from the beginning of the block. So now if you take the base block, so if you take the base block, how it will be organized. So this particular block is going to split into number of pages, split into number of multiple pages or constitute of a single page. So into multiple pages or constitute as a single page. So here the size of the page also matters with respect to the performance. Okay, so it is nothing but like a book. So if a book is going to have what? So a book is going to have the page, right? So books are made up of page. So now if a book is having the page and the book length of the page is more. So if the page length is more, what will happen? If the page length more, so what will happen? The reading time becomes more. Okay, so then again, what will happen at that time? So if I'm writing only half here, half written, what will happen if I want to start a new topic? So then this particular part will get wasted. So these things has to be considered when you're defining your page size also. So when you are going to have the dimensions of the page block here, so the page block which you're going to have, so that can be having the size of up to 1 TB. This is how, so that will be having on 1 TB. So this blob storage which you are going to have, that it is going to provide users with the ability to describe the data. So it is going to facility to describe the data is going to give facility to describe the data it is going to provide. Okay, so whenever the user requests, so that particular blob is going to request is served from the user. So that's how it is going to be accessed. Okay, so the next comes the Azure Drive. So it is similar to your hard drive which you are going to have, like your Google Drive and all is there, right? So this is going to have the drives. So here the page blobs can be used to store an entire file system. Okay, so whatever the page blob you are going to have here, so that particular page blob can be used to store an entire file system. Okay, so the entire file system will be stored in the form of the virtual hard drive. So now after having this particular virtual hard drive, this can be mounted on top of your NTFS file system. That is where the NTFS stands for your new technology file system. So NTFS file system, it can be on top of when you are going to make use of. So where the NTF stands for new technology file system. So on top of your new technology file system, so that particular page block can be made or mounted. Okay, so if that particular page block, so if you take the page block, so if that particular page block mounted as part of the NTFS file system or NTFS tree, so then only it is called as Azure Drive. So that means what? So if the page block mounted as part of the NTFS, so that only that you have to keep in your mind. So page block mounted as part of NTFS. So then only it is called as Azure Drive. Okay. So next tables. So what the tables consist of? So the tables consist of here. So if you talk about the table, so whenever the table you are going to have, so normally tables will be you are going to make use of to store the semi-structured data. So this particular table constitutes the semi-structured storage solution. Okay. So your semi-structured storage solution is going to provide. Okay. So what it allows users to store information in the form of an entities and the collection of properties. So as you all know that how it is going to be stored. So if it is going to have the same entity means what, it should have some reference. Okay, so it should have the concept of relational database management system. So some data you're going to have, those data should have some relations. So and it should be represented in that particular form with respect in the form of entities, and it's going to have this n set of properties on that particular information. So now whatever the entities you are going to have here, so the entities will be stored in the form of rows and columns. Okay, rows in the table, and one set is stored in the rows and column form. How it is going to identify? So these data will be identified using the key. So this is identified using key mechanism. So that will be identified using the key mechanism. So this particular key mechanism which you are going to have, so it also constitutes what the unique index table, okay, built for that particular table. So in the index table which you are going to have, so what are the operations you can do on that one? So users can the same operations which you are going to have perform on your database, like update, create, insert, create the database, okay, and insert, delete. Okay, these are some of the operations which you can do. And when you want to retrieve that particular data, you can retrieve the data depend on the subsequent rows also. So the data which you are going to retrieve, so it has to be retrieved in subsequent rows also. Okay, so here the service is designed to handle large amount of data. Okay, so this particular service is large amount of data it is going to be used. Okay, so that is going to have, so even this particular table it is going to have, so it can have only up to 100 terabyte of data. So 100 terabyte of data can be stored, and rows which will be having around 255 different properties. Okay, so one row will be having 1 MB of size for each row. So 1 MB for each row you can have. So in one row you can store up to 1 MB of data. So the maximum dimension which you are going to have for the partition keys are 1 kilobytes. So the next type is your queues. Okay, the next type which you are going to have is queues. So in the queues, what will happen? It will store the application to communication. Okay, so for communication purpose, communication by exchange messages. Okay, so this allows what? This allows the applications to communicate. So this queues allows apps to communicate messages or communication. How it is going to make? By exchanging messages. So this particular type of services which you're going to have, so that is going to allow application to communication by exchanging. How? By exchanging the messages. So here the applications which you are going to have, that will enter messages into a queue and other applications, and can read in a file in which manner that can read here whatever the applications you are going to read. That when you are reading that particular file, that particular operation will be done using first in first out basis. So whichever the file you are going to insert it in first, so that will be read as the next. So now it is also providing the facility of geo replication. So now what you are, if you are providing that particular facility as geo replication, what mean by replication? Replication is nothing but what? So whatever the data you are going to store in one data center, so it the same uh, information is going to store in another place. So all across the globe, wherever the data center that particular Microsoft is owning. So it geo replication involves what? It is copying of the data into a different data centers. Okay, so they're going to have the different data centers in your America. You may be having one data center, India may be having another data center, Australia may be having another data center. So whatever the data or whatever the message you want to keep, that will be replicated in all these data centers. Okay, so that's what we are going to provide you under your queues. Okay, so the next when it comes to the app fabric here, so next type of service which is going to give is app fabric. So the core here, the core app fabric which is going to have is your, it is going to provide the services of type, access control, service bus, and Azure cache. So now it is nothing but what? It is the middleware. Your app fabric is nothing but the middleware. So what purpose it is going to use? So it is going to be used for developing, deploying, and managing. So it is going to be mainly used for developing, deployment, deploying, and managing the application which you have been developed, for integrating with the existing application and to provide the different services. So now when you call about the app fabric, so it is going to be optimized in such a way that, so it should also provide supporting of what? So it should also provide the support. So it's going to provide you the support in the form of scaling out in high availability. High availability is not 24/7, that should be available, and it has to create the sandbox virtual environment. So there is nothing but your sandboxing. So sandboxing is nothing but isolated virtual environment you have to create it. So that has to be provided by your uh, platform. So then, so apart from this one, it has to give the access control also. So Next is access control. So it is access control is nothing but capability of encoding access control to resources in web applications. Okay. So next is service bus which you're going to have. So this particular services, what it is going to constitute. So that is going to constitute the messaging and connectivity infrastructure. Messaging and connectivity infrastructure provided with App Fabric for building the distributed and disconnected applications. Okay. So now when it comes to service bus, so here, so this is designed to allow transport network traversal, and you are going to have. So the next is Azure Cache. So it is going to provide you the set of durable connections. Okay. So it is going to give you the set of durable solutions which will allow applications to use their data. Okay. So it is service that allows to quickly access data which is stored in the Azure storage. So it's Azure Cache is not about what it is used to access data. So which access data quickly, which is stored in Azure storage. So this is what is stored in Azure storage. Okay. So these are some of the services and the core concept it is going to provide. So next is your it's going to provide you the other type of services which you're going to have. One you're going to have is Windows Azure Virtual Network it is going to provide. So other is Windows Azure Content Delivery Network it is going to provide. So when you talk about the Windows Azure Virtual Network, so here in this one, so it is offered under the name Windows includes your Azure Connect network which is going to have, and it is going to provide you the Windows Azure Traffic Manager you are going to have. Okay, so both it is going to connect and Traffic Manager. As the name indicates, it is going to be doing that particular functionality. So the traffic it is going to manage, and it is going to help in connecting the different parts of the data center. So it is going to set up the IP address network connectivity, so which is hosted on the private premises and which will be deployed on the Amazon Azure cloud only. So it has to connect and provide services for Azure cloud itself. Okay, for Azure cloud itself, which you are going to have. Okay, so by providing the IP-based connectivity, so it is going to be a part of your private networks, and it is going to be managed with the same tools which is going to be used in your private premises also. Okay, so when it comes to the content delivery system, so in this it is going to provide you it is going to provide you the content delivery network solution, so that improves the content delivery capabilities. So it will improve the content delivery capabilities which you are going to have. So of Windows Azure storage, content delivery of what? Azure storage. Okay, so that it is going to provide. Okay, so what this services is going to provide you? So this service allows serving of web objects. So it allows serving of web objects here. Serving of web objects here you are going to have, and with the help of what? So with the help of your whenever you are going to have the web coming into the picture, so the next which will come into the mind is your browser. When it comes to the browser, you have to access through using HTTPS. So when you are going to design any web page, so you have to have design in the proper form. So where you are going to have the cascaded style sheet CSS, and those cascaded sheet, and if you want to organize those sheets inside your HTTP, inside your web page, you have to make use of your JavaScript. So these things you should know. So when you are going to have this one, so it is as well as when you are going to have this one, so we are going to have the video to be delivered. So that means streaming constraints. So streaming the content you have to have by using a network of 24 locations here. So you're going to have different 24 locations. With the help of those different 24 locations, so this particular services will be accessed. So 24 locations, the services will be accessed. Okay, so I will stop here now. So anybody having any doubt? So if it